I have a question to Jean-Christophe. Jean-Christophe, can you open your presentation, please? It is on the, you say that resilience was stronger in intensive, this one, yes, intensive management has a better resilience than a one that was more biodiverse.
That's cool, huh?
Yes. It's like to say that a dead man is more resilient than a living man.
Exactly. If you take the COVID situation, the dead man is already dead, so only the living man will have to fear the COVID. So, no, I love this kind of result because it's first it said that it's not so simple. Second, it says also that we have to balance everything, because I'm saying that usually to launch discussion and then people say, no, you don't have to say that because you have to calculate everything, carbon budget, phosphorus and stuff like that. And there is also not only CO2, but also methane and N2O also. But it's important because it's not so simple, and we are lacking this kind of results. And those results are also just on few months. So the importance is also to test on the long term, this kind of stuff. But yes, the hypothesis that it's the same thing that we see in tropical systems. If you take microorganisms in tropical soils, they are more used to face dry season than wet season, tropical rain and stuff like that. So they are much more resilient and resistant to a change in water content and temperature also.
Yes, I think so. I think that if a changing climate will go on as it is on the rod, the first, probably not the first, but quite, that will have some damages from this change will be humans first. Huh?
Absolutely, yes.
Then I have a question from to Giacomo May. Giacomo,
I'm here.
Can you put your presentation?
Just a second. So
you show that along a cycle of a forest, and this is not a forest, this is a coppice, a sort of
coppice, right? It's a forest. It's a coppice forest.
It's a coppice forest, but you say that in.
You see something now? I imagine yes.
Yeah, yes, we see.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, where I have to go?
You show that
this one I imagine.
This one is
okay,
a beautiful picture, because we can see the soil that evolves and that bring with him the soil biodiversity, and in the end this ecological value is lower than in the middle.
It's double time lower. I try to explain. I show you just
my question is why nature favorize, why nature push in this direction the system?
That's normal. That's normal because here you create a disturbance. So you create different microhabitats, different situation, different kind of organic matter, leaves, branches, and so on. Here there is an homogeneization. I'm not able to say this word. There is a standardization of the situation under the ecological point of view. What I mean, ground cover is full, the soil is covered more or less all the year. You have no big areas of open. The wind is the same as over more or less the same everywhere. The diameter is more or less everywhere. The soil is more or less covered in the same way. Not only vegetation is very well shaped. What I mean, you have only few species, as all of us know. In a forest, we have a little number of plants, and it creates a very low differentiated Olan or horizon, because you have low plants, low difference between composition in terms of leaves and so on. So you create a little number of microhabitats, and you in some way encourage the increase of 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 kind of insects, fungi, and so on, but increase one population, but other population are totally disappear totally from this situation.
But it's a question of scale, huh? A question of
No, this is a question. Before I say that is a double loss of biodiversity, because here we can see how the topsoil change in 1 point in 60 years. But copies, this kind of management, forest management, is characterized by a very little areas copies for each year. So you have all this situation maybe in 10 hectares. If you convert everything, you have for 10 hectares only this or only this or only this or only this or only this. And if you convert everything, you have only this or only this. So it's double loss of biodiversity.
Consider as absurd. Huh? Consider that you are able to transform in copies all the forest of the planet.
No, wait. Yes, this is not possible.
How biodiversity will increase or will decrease?
I think this is a very nonsense question. I mean, this kind of management was done for more than 8,000 years here in Europe, in central Italy, in the Mediterranean basin. So soil, fauna, flora, and so on are shaped first of all from the climate change, from the climates in different areas. After that, from the continuous management of this area. But I can do this kind of management, for example, in the tropical forest, because I change everything immediately and I create a really disturbance.
Consider only Italy then.
Okay.
Considering only Italy or only the area of Austria carpinifolia. You show a picture with the area of Austria carpinifolia.
Yeah, sure.
In this area, instead of a forest, a normal natural forest, you transform everything in coppice forest.
For which regard Austria forest, no problem.
You will increase the biodiversity or you will decrease finally.
For which regard the area of Austria carpinifolia here, especially if you open whatever book of special silviculture, the first thing you read are that Austria forests are not possible to manage in high forest, because they fall down. They grow in a very slow position, so it's very difficult to manage in that way. So in this moment, the only thing we can measure is a big loss of biodiversity in the converted or abandoned forest of this kind. All the study must be adapted and redoing for different kind of forests. For example, if we talk about Fagus or about Quercus, various species or whatever, we have no data for say that. What I can say is that exist different kind of management, create different situation, and also at European level, one of the big risks for the loss of biodiversity is the homogenization. So for me is we need to maintain all this kind of different management, especially traditional management, because they allow us to survive in some way to the climate change. So yeah, for me, if you convert everything, is a damage, but it's the same kind of damage if you don't convert everything. I hope to explain to answer your question.
Yes, yes, it's clear for me. Even if I'm not.
Just a second.
Know.
I want to show you.
I compare in Italy.
Yeah.
In Italy, for example, we have grassland.
Yeah. Right.
Mountain. In high mountain.
Right. Right.
And now, if you let this grassland go on in a natural way,
yeah,
they will be invaded. The forest come into this grassland, and
yeah, right.
And so the government pay for maintaining this grassland because there is a high biodiversity in this area. I think that your coppice forest
something like this, right?
Something like this.
I want to show you just a picture. If I have 1 second more, because I think would be interesting. Sorry, this is an old. This is the situation in this. This is a city just for have an idea. Okay. Here you can find some number. It's in Italian, but you can find some data about the extension of this kind of forest. And here is what you can see normally in the middle part of the Apennines. This is a part of forest, and as you can see, the cutting area is very little. Okay, this is cut just this year. This some years ago, and so on, so on, so on. This is the real situation of the different properties. So you imagine to do a forest management planning here. It's totally impossible. The only thing we can do is manage in some way, and this is the kind of forest of which I really, in a really speedy way, took to you today. And this is the normal forest rotation, okay? And this is what's happened in the last 20 years. At the level of soil and all the aspects, this is what's happened. As you can see, in each different moment from the cut, we have a different situation. It means different microhabitats. But it's not just in line. You have this here. This is the real situation in which we take the data, okay? But this is the real situation of the plot. This part of mountain. So you imagine how much different microhabitats are present in the same moment with this kind of management. It's clear that this kind of management is totally not good for the part of the alpine forest, boreal forest, or other forest in which you have a different kind of traditional management, in which soil, plants, and so on are not adapted to this kind of management. A very big loss of biodiversity. We have found a very big loss of biodiversity, for example, in the Balkan side, where I have the lucky to study with Professor Vukalic. And we went together to different plots in which copies are totally abandoned from 10 or 20 years. And here have the data of that the last cutting period, and we do new reliefs, and we measure more or less the 30% of loss of plants. Environment disappears. Some particular environment that he remembered disappear totally. So it's a big change. It's not I can say that is an horrible place. It's a wonderful forest, but you have also in this moment that kind of forest in another place. If you convert everything, you have the same kind of forest that cover everything. It's more or less like you say the secondary prairies. If you don't manage more, disappear. Something arrive. We know what laws, but have absolutely no idea of what we can find in the future. This is my result.
Thank you.
Giacomo, may I give a comment on that?
Yeah, sure.
There is this movement of Satoyama in Japan. They partly try to do those old management practices. It's very labor intensive, but retired people's group of retired people make the firewoods and try to keep up the system with support by biologists and biodiversity people, simply to keep such systems in a good shape, and it seems to work quite well. If you want, have some contacts. Can send
Yeah,
you.
maybe. Thank you very, very much. It could be very, very interesting. Thank you, really.
Okay, Judith, I have a question for you. Can you put your presentation on the screen, please?
Yes,
I would like to understand why the system go from an amphi to a rhizo system. No, from rhizo system to amphi system. What is going on? Why the system switch from amphi to rhizo system? Rhizo is probably a tangle system, yeah. Undisturbed is tangle, and then it becomes an amphi system. This means that, following our classification, that the A horizon was not there with tangle, or it was thin, and then it becomes larger, it becomes present. How can these occur in your system, in your presentation?
well, at the undisturbed site in forest conditions, we have very thick OH horizons.
Yes.
Lots of organic matter in organic layers. And this material is lost after the fire, so that's the huge difference. We have less in OH layers. And we have a different microclimate. We have it's colder in the forest ecosystem, and we have more biological diversity at the fire site. But it's a problem that Klaus mentioned yesterday already, that we have a transition from OH horizon to A horizon, where we find soil aggregates which resemble the A horizon, but also we have a high carbon content. So I don't know if it's maybe you would not call it amphi. I don't know. I'm not so familiar with this system, but the difference is mainly in the accumulation in the OH horizon, I think.
No, but this A horizon is at the top of the soil or at the bottom of the soil of this amphi? Is the grassland that make this A horizon, new A horizon?
Maybe I can intervene.
Yes, please.
So it's again this situation where you have a very pristine limestone, and only in patches, in small depressions, you have some clay mineral components. And if this tangle is burned away or partly eroded, you have bare rock on parts of the site, and you have some accumulation of remaining residual material in such accumulations. There you have this amphi situation, and that's the only patches where grasses grow and where also other species can establish. But as soon as the grass takes over, it seems to take quite a long time for other species to invade. Ericaceous species, they simply grow everywhere in patches and form the basis for other plants invading with a little bit time delay. So you can have first a patch or a cushion of erica, and maybe then a spruce can establish, and you have this natural succession, and then you have the next avalanche and everything is gone for some time. So it's quite a complex pattern.
Yes, I understand. It works. So the fire burns the organic matter,
Yes.
and then the system starts again, but with a mineral horizon.
You cannot really call it a mineral horizon. Of course, it's rich of ashes, and you have the concentration of the mineral substances which were distributed in half a meter of tangle now on the soil surface. Yeah.
So this is a thin amphi-horizon starting.
Yes.
A starting tangle that resembles more to an amphitheater. It's
Yes.
okay. It's well.
So it's this transition between tangle and amphi.
And amphi, yes.
And this rhizoforms, that's mainly the roots and rhizomes of Ericaceous species, where we know also 50% of the carbon in the roots is made of fungal biomass. So that's...
It's okay. Yes, I understand very well. So, is there other question, people? Dylan, I was not there yesterday. I apologize. It was impossible. I was very curious to see the agricultural system. What you did on this, you started the aggregator. Is that it was?
Yeah, the presentation was not really that about. It was more about revision of the whole humus form classification system in Switzerland. And especially the point that all this last year we worked a lot in the agricultural areas, but mainly with mineral or organomineral soil. And there is now a lot of lacking thing in about humus forms. And the incoming year, we will have a lot of new things and try to develop more such system with a lot of question and how to do it the best way and what are the links with the already existing humus form system, like the German one or the one developed by Humusica. Yeah.
Thank you. I will have the record of the
yeah, and I have a meeting with Claire Le Bayon.
Yeah. Also, Sylvia did something about the fractals. Have you had some question about your? Because fractals always it's something that call some question, some no. Silvia.
Yes, yesterday I tried to to show some findings of the previous research. Then for a while I left these fractal topics aside, but I'm really fond of this topic. So I would like to resume it some time. So I started some preliminary work. And my idea was would be to try to apply these techniques, maybe with to gain new insights in soil ecology. So putting together what we know about humus forms and humus systems, and what we know about this fractal pattern. So this is clearly described. So it's a way to classify, however, it's another way to classify topsoil more mathematically. But I think there are some points of contact with the humus classification. Yes, even if I'm
macro.
Yeah, there are some issues to be solved, like the range of fractal observation, for example, because I worked at the beginning on the fine earth domain, but I guess that when we talk about humus, probably would be better to enlarge the range of aggregate size considered.
Because okay. I'll see the record of this. Oh, before leaving, I will send you an attestation of presence of as speakers to the meeting. I will do it next coming week. And then there is a journal that would like to publish the abstract of this meeting. So I will contact you and ask you to comment 1, 2, 3 of your slides, the ones you think to be the better of your presentation, the picture and a comment under the picture. And then I try to make a wall, a single, very with a presentation, an introduction, a presentation, and then each one of you 1-2 pages, no more. But the idea is to present something that can be used by professor that want to teach the soil at university or even in secondary school. So a sort of a document in which we present our main important thing that even young students, students and young people must to know about soil. It's simply what you say during this meeting. 1-2 picture and a comment, and I will stay in contact with you and try to build this large paper for that has educational but also research interest. Someone that wants to know fast what is going on the side of the soil. This was the idea. And the journal will publish open access this paper. They say that they want to see the paper before publishing it, but they have to send the paper for revision, but they are open to see our paper and to publish it open access.
Great.
So, thank you very much to be there. I see that Maria Briones is there too. Maria, oh la la. And Herbert has left. Herbert, no, it has left Herbert. Maria.
Yes, I'm here.
Ciao Maria. How do you do?
Crisis at the department, but yeah.
So Maria is a soil biologist, Spanish soil biologist, you know probably, and we published an article together with Jean-François Ponge. We cannot be there because he has not connection, but he say hi to everybody. So thank you very much. It was a great pleasure to have you with me a time more. And Klaus, ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao everybody. And stay in contact.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Thank you, everyone.
Good afternoon. Thank you very, very much.
Bye. Bye.
Augusto, thank you for organizing.
Bye. Bye.
Great event.
It was time for a meeting. Ciao, Bilan.
Ciao, ciao. Ciao, Liz.
Ciao.